Whoops. Hello. Texas Fish Room was the first one here, it looks like. I will give this a minute for the notification to go out because I was not expecting to go live tonight. Just ate dinner and it was hot, like spicy hot, so I'm sweating from it. Griffin Fish Room's here, hello. So on my live stream on Wednesday, I mentioned that I thought I was going to possibly switch my live streams to after OFR. I thought it'd be a good segue to go between OFR and Lucas Brett's. I'm moderating OFR's live stream, so I'm here anyways, and I thought it'd be a good time slot. Sorry guys, I got recommended a Mexican pizza, and I was told it was spicy. It was more than spicy, like sweating. It was hot. Haven't taken my shower yet. I was not planning on going live right now. But anyways, I mentioned going live on Fridays if that was a good idea or not. And apparently during the live stream, Josh and Big Rich said I was going live. So I was planning on doing that maybe next week since I already went live once this week. But hey, let's do it. Hope everybody's doing well. Tonight's live stream with OFR was hysterical as always. I was drinking along with everybody else with this Stay Fishy Friday. Plans. Let's talk about plans for this weekend. I still got to do my water changes tonight on the tanks. Got my water change shirt on. And I think I might have touched my eye with habanero crap on my hand because now my eye's burning. It's gonna be a shit show, guys. Sorry about the language, but anyways, yeah, gotta do my water changes still tonight. The pond's looking good. The adults, let me flip you around. The adults have been hanging out over by the little waterfall. You can see one of the tequila sunrise. There's still fry everywhere. Papa Shrimp's here, hello. Wolf said, so who is drunk from OFR? You will have that every Friday night. Chad's here, hello. Mike's here. Everybody else that's here, I'm sure. Pond's looking good. I will probably do a live stream from inside this pond. I talked about it on Wednesday. I just wasn't planning on going live. Starkey's here. Hello, Starkey. The dogs are out here hanging with me. It's super nice out. It's been really hot this week. I think it was mid-90s today. Humidity was high as always here in Ohio. I gotta wake up tomorrow, take my dogs to my parents' house. They're gonna watch them again. Super huge shout out to them for watching my dogs 2 weekends in a row. I was going to go up to Ohio Fish Rescue on Sunday to finish the stand, and because I had plans tomorrow for 4th, they got canceled, and so I figured, well, I might as well go to OFR Saturday and Sunday. That way I have 2 days to try to get as much work as done as possible. Charlotte's right here. She can't hear me, but I kind of want to show you guys the rainbow fish. The dogs are enjoying their time out here. Texas Fish Room, so yeah, it's always hot and humid here. Humidity has been killer. Papa Shrimp's, who's in the chat, that's Jerry. It's one of my buddies I met at Aquascaping, Chicago last year. He just moved up here like 2 weeks ago from Texas. And he was at OFR last weekend to help them move the tanks. And Big Rich was talking about him in the live stream tonight. Jerry has heat in Texas. He doesn't have the swamp that is Ohio with the humidity. It could be 60 and humid and be super crappy. I know it's dark. I'm walking to the office. Humidity will get you. just fed the rainbows. Where are they? They're over there. They're right there. Got a spawning mop. This is actually spawning mop number 2 in there. I am sweating. Hot food. I don't know. Tell me, guys, when you guys eat hot food, it could be burning your mouth off. What is it that makes you want to keep eating it? It's like some sort of like endorphin or something. Like, I don't know what it was. Haley about Aquatics had called me. She was talking to me, and I'm telling her, like, my eyes are watering. Like, I don't know. Like, I just kept eating it. It was hot. Let me pop my phone out of the case. So I'm walking around with the phone case. It's like one of those wallet cases. It's great for at work because then I don't have to carry a wallet in my pocket. 1 second. That's better. I clean the camera off. Anyways, actually, let me show you these guys. Let me flip you around. Give this man some milk. My mouth's not bad. I'm just hot. Anyways, these are Parkinsoni rainbows. The male is fire, guys. The camera, I know, like, everybody says the camera can't do them justice. This water's also got a ton of particulate in it because that stupid sand I'm always complaining about. Well, anyways, this guy is fire. He looks great on here. But anyways, second mop in there, it's a small mop. I ran out of string because I was making more mops. And the first mop, which was just from one night, Mike breeds rainbow fish, and he said that I should leave it in there for like 3 days and then pull it. The other mop, I just did a plop and drop. The other mop's in there, and it's got eggs on it. So I reduced the water down to a drip, so that way the overflow is not overflowing a ton. I'm going to let that go because I won't be here this weekend. So I'm going to let those eggs hatch out there. And then I could feed this tank baby brine shrimp or powder fry food to get them going. I just saw... Okay, I thought that was... Is that rainbow fish in there already? Wait a minute. They're not that fast, right? I saw something darting across the water. I was like, wait a minute, is that rainbow fish? Anyways. Oh my gosh, I'm getting text messages. Haley said, watch the overflow, so I'm going to run this even further down. There we go. I'll put some polyfilter in that overflow, just be careful, but it is super low. Guys, look at all this movement. That's got to be not rainbows. Whatever it is, it's Mike said 10 days hatch minimum. All right, so it's not rainbows, but there's food in there for them. And then there's some Bosmanis in that tank. Here's some Parkinsonis. This is a trio. This is actually for small fry aquatics. Anyways, I'll show you the other fry that I have, which I'm super excited about. Just kidding, just excited. Oh, the lights are going dim. Let me flip you around. This is one of the 20 longs. That, my friends, is freaking Convicts. So not only do I still have a ton of convicts up here, I've been moving down into the sumps. I think I mentioned before that I have convicts in the sump. It's planted, it's not like what you think. But look, the pump just turned back on. It was on feed mode. I just fed them. Convicts everywhere. Whoever wants a convict, they're free. Free 99. If you're in Central Ohio, come get a convict. Free. Did I say free? Free. Not only do I have a crap ton of convicts, I have a crap ton of convict fry. And I can't give them away. I've been trying to give them away Let's see what's going on in the chat. Rich T says, love those containers. Yeah, so those containers are super awesome. When I expand out to the garage, I'm going to do a ton of racks with them. So this originally was the beta rack. I sold out the betas, and then I was using it as plant grow out. The problem with plant grow out is that with shop lights right above the tanks, it grows diatom algae like crazy. So I did have some neorites I put in here, and they're taking care of it, but I need more neorites because I sold neorites out of this tank. So any tank that has a neorite in it, it's clean. Any tank without it, there's the brown diatom algae in it. So we'll get that fixed once I get more neorites. I'm trying to think what else is new. Nothing really new since the live stream on Wednesday. I did feed the axolotls some night crawlers tonight. Trying to think what else. I'm not very well prepared since I wasn't really prepared. Oh, here's another spawning mop. Another one I made. I need to get the synthetic yarn. The yarn I bought is not synthetic. It's like all natural cotton crap. It's crap, I tell you. It falls apart when it's in water for more than like 2 weeks. So if you pull it out and let it dry, it's not bad, but it does break down. I think it's cotton. The dye is all natural or something bull crap. The dye ends up leaching off of it after, like a month or so of use. So don't recommend that stuff. I ordered it online just because the fabric stores around here were closed. I'm trying to get a better view. I want to put more fish in this tank, but being that I'm trying to just collect eggs from the Parkinsoni, I don't think it's a good idea right now. I think this trio is on loan to me. This is my buddy's breeding trio, and he's just letting me spawn them for a little while, get a bunch of eggs, hopefully get some fry from it, and then I can start growing the fry out to sell. I'm trying to think what else. I need the computer chat up. I'm way better with computer chat. So how many people were in the OFR chat or in the OFR stream tonight, and were you partaking in the adult beverages? Which I don't know where mine's at now. I will be going to OFR tomorrow. If anybody's in the area, I'm sure you can swing by, hang out, help with whatever needs helped with. I know when it comes time to putting the top on the lower stand, that sucker is heavy. The top by itself cut off weighs just as much as the whole rest of the stand. So this stand, the way they built it, instead of being full tubular steel, the bottom's only angle iron. And the way stands are built, the uprights hold all the weight, or at least that's how it's supposed to be. All the weight goes straight down on the legs, so that way you're not relying on welds to hold weight, stuff like that. They did the bottom with angle iron, and then they dropped plywood in it as a base, which I get that. But once we cut the top off, you could tell how flimsy that angle iron is because it's 20 feet long. Once it spans 20 feet, and then to connect it side to side, it's only like little pieces of flat iron. It's not how I build stands. I build the whole thing out of tubular steel. I just prefer that. I feel like it's a little bit more heavy duty. I get why they did it with angle iron because they can drop the plywood in there. Maybe that's all you need. I don't like that method. But I did go to the store today on my lunch break. I bought extra welding wire just to be safe. I got 2 big spools of it. I know I won't use that much at all, but just in case something happens, I got 2 big spools of it. I got extra welding tips. I bought new welding gloves, and I bought these they're called flap discs. It's for grinding. It's basically like sandpaper that's on a grinding disc, and it's supposed to remove material quicker than just a regular grinding disc. So I'm hoping that will speed up the process, because it's really tedious work with trying to grind all those welds down. That's like the worst part. So cutting the steel is fine. Cutting the welds sucked a lot, because as I'm using a regular circular saw to cut it, they do make circular saws that are designed for this, to where they're completely enclosed around the blades. That way the little metal shavings don't fly out. But I didn't want to invest $300 in that saw just to use on these couple stands. Maybe if like finances were better, I could buy it and then I could keep it for later. But I decided just to use a regular circular saw, metal blade. Works great, other than it shoots these little fireballs at you in the form of sharp shavings. Last weekend, my arm had these tiny little burn marks all over them, and that's from those little metal shavings. But I bought gloves that they'll go up my arm a little bit, mainly because my other welding gloves are like at least 15 years old and they're falling apart. My helmet, I left up there. Josh sent me a text message, I think it was today actually, saying like, hey, you left your helmet here. I'm like, yeah, I don't need it right now, so I'll grab it this weekend. But let me catch up on the chat. I'm in top chat. Let me get out of that. So the plan is, from now on, I'll be going live. I'll basically go live directly after OFR, and then I'll cut off before LRB. LRB is at 9:30, so I'll just make sure I'm done with my live stream by then, and then everybody can go over to his channel, see what he's got going on. OFR typically is done at 8. They sometimes run late. My set goal is 8:30 to 9:30, but honestly, if they go to 8:30, perfect. If they end at 8, maybe I'll just go live at 8 right after them. The goal is just to go live right after OFR is done. Maybe I'll drop a link to my channel in the OFR chat, and then people can just click it. And I'll be more prepared with better content for the next live stream. And I definitely need to do some content at OFR this weekend. I really didn't do much of any content there last weekend. I did go live, but I don't know if it was with like the weather, if there was a cell tower issue, but my internet was terrible. And I've live streamed from OFR before, and it wasn't bad. I was able to live stream anywhere in their house. This past weekend I tried to do live stream, and I basically could only do it from outside. Anytime I went in the house, I was losing my internet connection. And with internet having all of those massive tanks that they have, Wi-Fi doesn't work through water. Internet doesn't work through water. Water blocks that signal. Plus you got steel. They got steel stands. All that comes into play with the internet. So, and then there was a ton of people there. So you got a ton of people with cell phones around you. It's just like if you ever go to a football game or someplace where there's a stadium, usually the internet never works because there's 100,000 people on their phones. But hopefully this weekend, maybe I'll go live. I would love to go live both days, on there Saturday and Sunday. Hopefully I can go live both days. I know somebody said they like the live, like behind the scenes type deal. Worst case, if I can't go live because of internet issues, I'll try to do some recording. And I know somebody wanted more video of like modifying the stand. I don't really know how I'll do that, being that everything I'm doing so far requires 2 hands, holding the circular saw, holding the grinder, and really welding. I can't record that either. Papa Shrimp might be going to OFR tomorrow. If Papa Shrimp goes to OFR, maybe I'll have him take my phone and get some video. and I can post the video, you know, next week sometime. But let me go through the chat and see how everybody's doing, and I'll see what is up. Oddball said, do you meth blue the eggs? No, because I don't have any meth blue. I sold out of it. I didn't plan on this when I sold out, and the wholesaler doesn't have it right now. And I know Corey's talked about meth blue was going to go away. From what I know, our wholesaler just doesn't have it right now. I do need to get some on hand, but right now, the eggs look good. When I checked them this morning, I don't see anything that looks like a fungus egg. They're in that rack system. The rack system's heated. It's a constant flow. It's a central system, not a flow-through system. So they're getting their own filtered water constantly. So fingers are crossed. With Mike, Mike's a really good rainbow fish breeder. He's been, you know, talking to me about this, and so the goal is mop in there. I need to build bigger ones and nicer ones. Mop in here 3 days, pull it, new mop, and every 3 days I'm going to pull out the mop. That should give them enough time to load that sucker up. The first mop I put in the flow through, and I'm basically not putting all my eggs in the same basket. So I'm putting one mop in the flow through, which is out there now. One mop's going into the mini pond out back. There's nothing in that pond. There's no fish. So I'm going to put one mop out there, see if they hatch out there. There's no filtration on that pond. It's basically a stagnant tank right now. So I need to do that before I want to have that water at least flowing. So I need to do that. I'm just doing a 5-gallon bucket. I'll do a video on my take. You know, everybody's got DIY videos of a 5-gallon bucket filter. They're out there. I'm just going to record the way I do it, because I typically do things a little bit differently. Usually it's for like ease of use or to save money. So I'll do my own video. If it's something new, cool. If not, hey, whatever. It's content, right? I'm going to do a bucket filter, and once I know that water's circulating, it's not stagnant, then I'll move a mop out there. And then other tanks, I have a tank in the import rack that's empty. It's only got plants. It's old water. It's fully cycled. I think it's got, oh shoot, I think it's a sponge filter. Some tanks out there have sponge filters, some have box filters. I think that one's a sponge filter, which is better. But even with rainbow fry, I don't even need that filter on there, being that there's plants. The rainbow fry are not going to take over nitrates off of that tank by any means. I do have baby brine ready to go once they are to that stage. I have fry food ready to go. Yeah. As far as that, so those are my 3 tank plans right now. The main pond won't work because there's a crap ton of guppies in there now, and the filtration is way too powerful. Everything will get sucked up into the pump, and so that main pond won't work. It would work for a grow out. I just can't hatch them in there. I really hope that I can hatch them all in this the beta rack, because with that, super easy to see each tank. And I think there's 11 tanks on there, 11 different tanks. It'd be super awesome to get them to hatch in that, and I can just mop in each tank, and then it's a grow out tank. Once they get big enough to where I know the guppies outside. Oh, I did catch a female today. Females are getting big out there. So I got some on video next to water lettuce, and I'm telling you, some of these guppies, when people are saying guppies are 2.5 inches, I'm saying these things are at least 3 inches on some of them. They are beasts out there. I did catch one with a net real quick, and I had it in my hand. It was probably 2.5, 3 inches, but they're looking good. And they actually change color in the sun. So like indoors, They're kind of a pale yellow head into a yellow body, red tail. These things outdoors they're crazy. It's almost like they suntan, to be honest. But they look great. And there's thousands of fry out there. This fall, it's going to be go time with selling guppies. And my guppy tank inside the fish room has hundreds of guppies in it too. They're just growing up to get to a sellable size. And I actually might end up moving a net full of those out to the pond because they grow quicker outside. They grow like 3 times. They grow 3 times quicker outdoors. I could feed the import rack 3 times a day, and I'll feed the pond once every other day, and they'll still grow quicker outside. I'm telling you, green water and natural bugs in the water is super awesome for fish. Let me see. Haley said, "Oh, look, a tank full of nope." She's talking about the rainbows. I'm way behind on the chat, guys. Sorry. Peplin Creek's here. Hello. Griffin said, "Ship for free." If you're talking about the convicts, I will not ship for free. Shipping right now is a struggle because the temperatures are getting so hot. I do have cold packs, and I just saw my chat on my phone. She said I was talking about the convicts. Whole tank of nope. Yeah, convicts. I am kind of contemplating some cichlids down the road. I'm thinking some tang cichlids. I'll probably honestly start with shell dwellers. I've always wanted shell dwellers, so I think that would be a good intro into me breeding some shellies. They are on the list right now, and there's like I don't know, 4 or 5 different variants, which is super awesome. And I don't think any of them are the multis, which is cool. Multis are super easy, super common. I'd rather get into breeding they're not rare, but less common stuff. But that's down the road. I don't plan on doing that until I have the fish room done. Fish room version, whatever this will be, 5, 6, 7. Fish room 2. We'll say that. Fish room 2, which is the garage. Papa Shrimp said, "Can we get some likes, please? Thumbs up." Thank you. Tiffany says, "Will ram's horn snails eat the brown diatom algae?" Actually, I don't know because none of my other tanks have ever had it. Mainly, even with the tanks with like the Fluval 3.0, they're all planted and like heavily planted, so I never have algae issues really. I'll get like a little bit of green algae on the glass, but the ram's horns take care of it. And with this, I'm running shop lights, which I forget how much they are, like 3,000 or 4,000 lumens. They sit like this far above the tank, and the tanks are only this deep of water. It's a ton of light into those tanks. I typically only run those lights when I get off at work. So when I get home, like 5:30, I switch the lights on, and then they run usually until I go to bed. So they can run anywhere from 4 to 7 hours, depending on the night. And it's just so powerful. It's too much light. I did buy, when I go back out there, I'll try to remember, I did buy this like resistor. It's a potentiometer. It's so you can dim lights. It doesn't really work with the LEDs. I was hoping it would. I didn't know if it would. I know it works with halogen lights and like incandescent lights, but it doesn't work. At least with these shop lights, it doesn't work. So I thought it'd be really cool because these lights can daisy chain. I thought I'd just daisy chain them all together and use this knob. It's, dimmer switch. Turn it down and dim the lights, but the LEDs, they dim a little bit and then they cut it off. So that's just part of the design of the LEDs, I'm sure. It's too much light because the tanks aren't heavily planted. They're import plants that I'm converting over to submerged grown. Because most plants that anyone that's selling online that's not like a hobbyist LRB's plants are all grown in his tanks. That's what he does. He grows them, propagates them, sells them, right? Most online stores, all the plants come from a farm. It's usually Florida, but even now with Florida, from what my wholesaler was saying, they were having like shortages with COVID because everybody was buying so much stuff, being home, that even Florida farms are importing plants. Import plants are always immerse grown, so they're grown above water. They grow 20 times faster. They have unlimited oxygen, CO2. You know, the only thing that they would have to do is maybe supply them with nutrients, micros, macros, so fertilizer. Super quick to grow them that way. And, you know, they might only sell them to the wholesaler for $1. The wholesaler sells it to myself for $3 or $6, however much that plant is. So they have to make money. So they have to grow them quickly as possible. The problem is, if you buy a plant that's immerse grown, you get it, it dies off right away. That's normal. The plant will grow back. The downside is, you just spent money on a plant, and you're like, hey, this thing just died immediately. What the crap? Now, they don't always grow back. Depending on your tank parameters, maybe you don't have enough nutrients for it to supply to grow back healthy. Maybe you're killing it with too much of something. It's best to get one that's already submerged grown, and once it's already converted, all that stress is off the plant. And also, the plants look different whether they're immerse grown or submerged grown. These Amazons were immerse grown when I put them in here. The brown leaves, like the one right there, anything that's brown is immerse grown. It's melting. Everything in the center is submerged grown. And so you can physically see it like, hey, these are dying off, new leaves are coming up. The difference is everything in the center is very narrow leaf. Everything that's immerse grown, which is dying off, is very broad leaf. So that's the other way you can tell. And plants can be just like that. They can have really broad leaves. You put them in your tank, it dies off, it comes back immerse grown, and then the leaves look completely different. That could be upsetting too. Like, maybe it looks super awesome. You want the big broad leaves, but then it comes back and it's a narrow leaf. That's just how it is. But so I try to not ship plants that are immerse grown because it's a lot to take on with converting them, and then I don't want you to be disappointed in, hey, like, it looked sweet when it came in because it was broadleaf and now it's narrow leaf or whatever. Sometimes plants just sell out so quickly that they're not fully converted and they're still in the process. Java Fern is probably my #1 seller as far as plants, and it kind of goes through spurts. Anubias Nana was my biggest seller, and then, like, I don't know if more videos come out on YouTube from other creators and people get this bug, but then it's Java Fern, and it was Barterai for a minute, so I was ordering a ton of Barterai in, and I think I'm actually sold out of it right now. But I go through these spurts of, like, you can almost time it with some other creator's video. But Java Fern's a hot seller right now, and it's one of my harder plants to sell because the Nubias are all potted. So they're in rock wool. That helps hold the rhizome together, and that's how I ship them. And that's what's in the beta rack. So where I show them that mop, that's those plants. Those are all Nubias, whether it's Nana, Barterai, Coppifolia, stuff like that. Java Fern is a rhizome as well, and typically it comes just, they call it bare root. So it's just a Java Fern plant. It's not attached to anything because you're supposed to attach it to like rock or wood or decoration. I've taken fake tree, which is actually the decoration. Guys, I'll just show you. I keep forgetting. Mobile live stream, best thing that ever happened to my channel. Da bomb. So this tank, which has the bearded Corys in it, let me flip you. It's the bow front, so it's all distorted. This is fake. This is like some sort of fake tree thingy. I used that, right? So I had glued Anubias to it. It all died off during one of my tests pre-Corridoras. And this tank's very particulated right now. I just fed them some Tetra, and they're going through the substrate, turning that all up. But that also runs a box filter. I probably need to change out the poly filter on it. But people with like castles, I do have a local guy that had a castle, and he glued Java Fern right to it. You can do that. Like, whatever you want to do, don't let someone else tell you decorations are cheesy. If you got a skull in your tank, awesome. Put some dwarf hairgrass on top of the skull and give them like a fro. Make it like a chia pet, right? I used, like, growing up, I used to have all sorts of decorations. The sunken ship. Oh, my phone just freaked out. I had the sunken ship and all that stuff. That was cool when I was growing up. I'm kind of out of that phase. I don't diss it. I don't think it's like cheesy or anything. I just kind of like the more natural looking tanks. I think I really want to do like a biotope at one point. One day I want to do a real biotope. Everything is specific to a collection point, but I want to wait until I get the perfect fish for that tank. But there's so many things you can do with plants, and you could just have it all natural. These are just stuck in the sand. I kind of did like 3 mounds and just stuck them in there. And now I kind of want to aquascape it. And I use the term aquascape lightly. I'm not an aquascaper, guys. And I can go on a tangent about aquascapers. There's some very talented people out there, for sure. You look at their tanks and you're like, that's artwork. It really is artwork. Aquascaping to me is what I enjoy myself. It could be something super simple. If I enjoy it, hey, do what you guys like to do with your own tanks. Don't let anybody like steer you wrong, like, oh, that looks stupid. Who cares? If you like it, go that route. But I would like to make these kind of like, I don't want to say islands, but scape some rocks around the base of these swords, and maybe plant some smaller plants. I'm hoping they get taller, and then I'll put like Anubias around the bottom, and we'll see what else. I do have to get the sand out of this tank. Worst idea ever. But let me get back in the chat. Peplin Creek said, at Oddball, Buddy stopped today, loved the plants, will be making another order. Are there plenty of lotus? I'm also at Peplin Aquatics. I think there's one left in stock. The pond will grow more, but I can't pull too many at one time. I don't grow to sell, I just sell not to throw. Haley, are you peddling your business on my channel? I think you are. That's all right. Haley does sell plants, and like I just read, and I'm sure you guys read this 20 minutes ago because I'm that slow in the chat. Sand Creek Aquatics 2 is here. Hello. Haley, and she just said she doesn't sell as a business. She's just selling her basically leftovers, because when you got all these plants, especially like Val grows super quick. You have to trim it, and then you just basically throw it away, or you compost it out in your backyard, something like that. She, instead of just throwing stuff away, another thing that I know Haley would do, would offer it up to local club members, like, hey, I got a bunch of extra stuff. Well, guess what? With the whole virus thing going around, clubs are not meeting up. People are staying home, or like, I don't know. I'm always out and about. That's just me. But she's basically decided, let's make some extra money on these plants, which you should. There's money to be made in aquatics. If you just enjoy your tanks and let them grow, then you have extras, extra fish, whether you're into guppies or cichlids, rainbow fish. you pretty much can make money off your extras, except for probably convicts. Don't get into convicts. And I don't understand. I know I talked about this on Wednesday. I don't understand why wholesalers are like $2 or $3 a piece for a convict. They are the guppy of cichlids. Like, I don't even know how they're breeding in those tanks, because I had the 10-gallon packed full of fish to where I didn't think any fry would survive. Somehow they got in the overflow and went down to the tank below, and now I have them in a planted tank, so they're going to thrive in that planted tank for sure. And I still feed them. I still give them tetra tropical color granules. But I just want to get rid of them, guys. So whoever wants convicts, please swing by Columbus, Ohio. Take as many as you want. Let's see what else. Mike said OFR was crazy as always. Josh seemed a little toasted. Now that was Josh having a good time. Him toasted. Maybe I'll try to get him toasted tomorrow night. And I shouldn't record anybody when they're toasted, because he's not negative. Well, let me get out there. He's not like a negative person. He's a ton of fun. But some people might not like videos of them being sloppy, fishy online. That's why, like, there's been times where I've been at OFR, I'm like, oh, I'm going to go live here in a bit. Things turn to the fun side, where it's a ton of fun. People are drinking. Nobody's driving. Like, they're very like, Big Rich is very serious about, if you're at OFR and you're drinking, you got to stay the night. And there was a ton of people drinking Saturday night, and guess what? The wives came to pick them up. It was super awesome. He was going to make people stay on the couch. He's got a ton of couches, a ton of basically sleeping spots. So he's got spare bedroom upstairs with like a big, huge, like a sectional couch, but it's like a sectional couch on steroids. It's like multiple sectional couches put together. Downstairs, there's another bedroom. There's like a couch. I don't know if it's a couch. It's like one of those, like when you go into a restaurant and like you got those like bench seats, like in the waiting room, like the waiting area of a restaurant. He's got like one of those. That's by like the pool table. I know people have slept on that before. But yeah, there's plenty of places to sleep, and it was super awesome that people's wives came and picked them up, so nobody was drinking and driving. But it's a good time. It really is a great time there. They're fun to hang out with, and it's a good atmosphere. That's my mini vacation. I don't ever take vacations. I never take vacations. Maybe 2 or 3 vacations in the last 10 plus years, and they're always like family vacations. Usually, like, we went to Myrtle Beach. My real vacation, I say, is I went to Disney World a few years ago. That was a ton of fun. It was stupid hot. Cost a lot of money because everywhere we ate, it was minimum like $50. Like, we went out to breakfast and it was like $50 by the time you tip the waitress. It was crazy, but it was fun. A ton of fun. And that was 3 or 4 years ago, I think now. That was my last real vacation 4 years ago. But so, OFR is my mini vacation, but I'm getting sidetracked again, guys. Benjamin said, ever been to Europe? Though, no, I have not. It would be cool to go. The only technically out of the country I've been in is I've been to Canada, and I don't even really know if I'd call it. I mean, technically I was in Canada. We went up to Niagara Falls, went on the Canadian side, and then we went and saw the locks up there. But that's all we really did on the Canadian side. I haven't gone like further into Canada to go like any specific place. We basically were on the border, went over the border for a day, and that was, oh man, I don't even know how old I was. It was at least 15 years ago, I would say. Tiffany said, trying to lurk but having internet issues. That is story of my life this past week or so. Papa Shrimp said, got a face shield. I do not. The face wasn't too bad. I was wearing my safety glasses. The head was an issue with the hotness, falling on it. I don't know why I didn't think about it. I do have a bandana in my truck that I hang from my rearview mirror. And it's there for reasons like that. I just didn't think about using it. So I will probably use that tomorrow. I'll put the bandana on, or I'll just wear a hat. It was hot last Sunday. It's going to be hotter tomorrow. So I feel like it's going to be a lot of hot work. And as soon as that stand's done, it's straight into the predator pond I go. And I bet, like, even indoors, their fish room's got to be pretty toasty. It's a heated room, but I don't think it's air conditioned. So when it's this hot out, I'm sure they just open up the doors to get airflow. Fish are doing fine, but it's still, to us, it's still going to be hot and, hot and humid. With any fish room, it's going to be humid, especially when you have massive tanks like they do. The winter, it's not bad because, like fall, winter, spring, when the heat's running, it's not bad because, well, winter's going to be drier air anyways, but with their heater, they got this big gas heater that, like, it takes the moisture out of the air from burning that flame. And it sounds weird, but it works, and it works in my fish room too. I have an oil-filled heater, which is good because the oil stays, once it gets hot, it turns off, the oil still stays hot, so it's more efficient. But I have a forced air, it's an electric heater, but it's got like the hot heating grid. If I run the forced air heater, the humidity, I do have a humidity gauge in the fish room, the humidity is always lower with that versus the oil-filled one. And I think it's just helped circulating that moisture through the air, and it forces it through those hot coils, and it's somehow burning it off, or I don't know. It doesn't make sense, but somehow it works. But that's what happens in their fish room. Whenever that heater's running, the humidity is not bad at all. But right now, when it's 94 degrees outside, and it's humid to begin with, chat just jumped. Let me see. Haley's talking to Peplin. Wait, where'd it go? Papa Shrimp said, and a denim long sleeve shirt. I don't have a denim long sleeve shirt. I'm still debating. It's going to be so hot, so I don't know if I'm going to wear like a cutoff shirt and try to work on the suntan that like stops right here. Oh yeah, you can see that. So this is from being up there last Sunday, wearing a t-shirt. So the suntan stops, super pasty white the rest of the way. I would just take the shirt off, but with hot sparks, it's not going to be a good idea. And so I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be hot. It's going to be really hot work, but it's got to get done, right? So we're going to do my best to get at least the one stand done tomorrow and get working on the second stand. And there's some... So I think Josh and I are going to do a video probably together. It's going to be on the OFR channel. We're going to have to film it tomorrow or Sunday when I'm there. And it's about the 2,000 gallon tank that I'm getting. Some things are happening with that. Yeah, I don't want to drop anything on the 2,000. Big Rich let something slip earlier in their stream about the 2,000, but that's not even what I'm talking about. This is something completely separate with how I'm getting the tank and what I'm doing with the tank and how it's going to end up, because I have to modify the tank. The front panel of the tank is the top of the fiberglass must have cracked at some point, like when SeaWorld had it and water got into the wood and it rotted the wood. Not a big deal. It's like a section maybe 2 feet wide, if that, maybe 20 inches. needs cut out, new piece of wood, good to go. The front needs a brace though to keep it from bowing. There's like a metal pipe that's in there. It's kind of, to me, it's kind of hokey looking. I would put like a steel plate. That's what Josh suggested. Really brace it up. That plan is kind of changing, and there's going to be a video about that plan. Probably it'll be on the OFR channel. I don't know what day. Josh and I are going to record it sometime this weekend, talk about the plans of what I'm going to do, and what they're going to end up doing as well. Yeah, so look forward to that. There's some insider info for you guys for the 2000. But I can't wait to have that tank here and have it as a planted community tank. I think I'm going to try to do something special with it as far as the planting of it. I might reach out to some other YouTubers, probably like smaller channels, to help smaller channels grow their presence. I already have a light manufacturer that's going to sponsor the tank with lights. It's not like a full-blown, like they're giving me lights. They're basically going to sell me these lights at cost, which is huge. I mean, I get wholesale on so many different kinds of lights. This is actually not a brand I sell, but these lights are designed for deep water tanks, because this tank's 4 feet deep. A Phoenix light, which is what's up here, obviously won't work at all. That's a Stingray light. It's not made to go obviously that deep. And even a Fluval 3.0 is not going to work on a 4 foot deep tank. So there is a light that will. And the company is on board. They love the idea of a planted community 2,000 gallon tank. So they're going to supply the lights at cost. And they're powerful beasts. And I have one here at the house already to kind of test it, and it's a beast. Think of it like a light bar on an off-road vehicle. That's what this sucker does. It's bright. So that's already set up. I don't know if I'm going to go much further as far as people sponsoring that tank. It's going to be I want it to be my display tank, and I'm going to set up the new fish room specifically to enjoy that tank. So, you know, there's going to be racks on racks of fish tanks in there. I'm going to do like a little like sitting room area for this 2,000 gallon tank. I think I'm going to put like some sort of chair out there so I can live stream next to that 2,000 gallon. I think it'd be super sweet to be able to live stream next to a massive tank like that. But there's a lot of work that needs to happen for that to be. Oh shoot, the dogs are still outside. I'm like, whose dog's barking? That's my dog. Sorry, neighbors. Let me go get the dogs inside. It's going to be a ton of fun. There's going to be a ton of content, too, which is also a bonus for my channel, with fixing what needs fixed, doing what needs done, because I got to do a ton of electrical work. What's cool, that hole up there was from actually when I moved in here. It was a weird drywall. It wasn't like standard drywall. It was like super thin stuff. But I already ran a new power box. I gotta change this around. It needs to be mounted on plywood. So before anybody yells at me for this not being on plywood, I know it needs to be on plywood. But I already ran. Oh, I forget what I ran. 50 amps. So I have 50 amp. Come on. Sorry, letting the dogs in. Got 50 amps of power out to the garage. Everything's going to be on ground fault interrupters. So dogs are following me. Oh, maybe just one. So the power is out there. I'm going to run all new outlets throughout the whole garage. So everything is on ground fault circuits. Oh, sorry guys, bear with me. Putting the phone back in the mount. Because here's what's stupid. All the outlets in the garage, including the overhead lighting, is on the same circuit as everything in my laundry room, which is the fish room. So, if the heater's running, the sump pump's running, and I'm in the garage doing something, I could trip a breaker. They run everything in the, which I guess for a normal person it'd be fine, but like if you're a mechanic and you're out there trying to run like a saw, you know, some circular saws are 15 amps, and then you got something going on in the other room, it's a lot of amperage on one circuit, and it's all spread out over, you know, a quarter of my house. I don't want that much amperage, because what happens when we have a ton of amperage and you start gaining heat? You also got fish room, like bad things could happen. I don't want bad things to happen, so I'm running all new outlets, and they're all going to be on interrupter circuits, and it's going to give me peace of mind, and it's the right thing to do. And then I'm going to also pre-wire. It's kind of, I think it's dark out, so let me show you anyways what is going on. Video's worth a trillion words, right? So there's going to be some outlets in the new fish room that are red. And if anybody knows what red outlets mean, if you ever go to a hospital and you see a red outlet, it means it's on backup power. So here's my main panel, sub panel. This switch is for running generator. Alright, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna turn the light on. Let me flip you around. Right here. Sorry. That's a generator hookup panel. It's got a blank plate on it because everything's behind it. My house is already wired for generator backup, which is massive when you have, sorry, it's a big thing for when you have a ton of fish. Knock on wood, I don't lose power very often at all. But if you have fish, I don't know the details on that. But I really just said 1 minute warning, so I'm gonna wrap this up. And Jerry sent me a message. If you lose power and you're not home, and say power's out for 12 hours and fish lose air, and they're in a tank that is heavily stocked, maybe it's not planted, maybe it's in the middle of the night, there's no lights for plants to produce oxygen, you could lose a lot of fish. So I do want to have generator backup in case something happens. I do have an alarm system that's on battery backup, and it's also on cells. So if I ever lose power, and you know, I've lost power for like 5 minutes before, I'm alerted to my phone through my alarm system. It says, hey, you've lost power to your system. It's running on backup, like everything's good, your alarm's still active. But at that point, I know, because I usually get like an internet loss, like, hey, you lost your internet. That's when I know, like, all right, why did I lose the internet? And then I get the, hey, you're running on backup power. And then, so I'm alerted no matter where I'm at in the world if I lose power to my house. I'm also alerted if I lose internet to my house, because it will switch itself over from my Wi-Fi over to its cell. It's got built-in cellular service. So I'm alerted. I also have, what's cool with the alarm system, guys, if you ever plan on buying an alarm system for your house, I'm not endorsed. I use the Ring brand system. And what's cool is that they have these add-on modules. They're called smoke detector listeners. It's basically just one of their modules that you stick on the wall next to a smoke detector. So you don't have to replace all your smoke detectors, right? If a smoke detector goes off, it hears it and it sets off your alarm system. You have it set up to the fire department, to the police, whoever. I have all that set up. You have to get, some places you have to get permits, just so you know. I had to, the fire permit I did not have to like apply for. It was fine, but the police permit I had to actually get, and I think it was like $5. That just lets them, I don't know, collect money, but somehow allows the police department to know before something happens that, hey, you have this alarm system. And I had to fill out, like, if I had dogs, basically. So if they my alarm goes off that there's a break-in and they come bust into my house, they want to know if I have any dangerous dogs, which I have a killer of Charlotte. But she's not in here. But anyways, 9:30 is my cutoff. This will be my normal streaming time now, guys. 8:30 or whenever OFR ends. So if they end at 8, I'll go live at 8. If they end at 8:15, I'll go live at 8:15, guys. So watch OFR before me. When they end, I'll try to throw a link into the OFR chat right before they end and get some more people over here. But this will be my normal stream time. I'll try to end it every week by 9:30 because LRB is coming on. So yeah, I hope everybody has a great weekend. Look forward to some videos maybe tomorrow, live stream or whatnot. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Until next week, stay froggy, my friends. See ya.